Hi, my name is Rick Park. I'm one of the attorneys here at Park, Chenaur & Associates, and today we'll be going over what to expect in a deposition. Now, a deposition is where the defense attorney gets to ask questions of you about your case. Depositions typically take anywhere in between half an hour to an hour long. Your deposition will most likely be in our office in this room right here. And the people who are typically present in the deposition is the defense attorney, the court reporter, who's transcribing everything, all the questions that are being asked and all the answers that you give, and then you and one of the attorneys at Park Chenaur representing you. Questions typically asked by the defense attorney can be broken down to a couple different subject areas. They always start out with background information. That would include, where do you live?
Bothell, Washington.
How long have you lived there?
About 6 months now.
Do you live with anyone?
Yeah, several roommates.
What's your relationship to them? Where did you go to school? What's your highest level of education? Once they're done with the background questions, they'll move on to the second portion of the deposition, and that's going to be facts of the accident. So that would include things like, where were you going that day?
I was going to pick up some groceries at the store.
Okay. What street were you on?
I was on Filbert Road.
How many lanes is that road?
It's 2 lanes on one side, the side I was on.
Do you know which direction you were traveling?
No.
Was anyone else in the car with you?
No, I was on my motorcycle.
What were you doing? Were you listening to the radio? What was the weather like that day? Are you familiar with what the speed limit is? And then actually how the accident happened. You'll describe that to them. They'll also ask a couple of questions. What happened after the accident? Did the police come? Did you talk with the police? Did you talk with anybody else at the scene of the accident? The next section that they'll talk about is what your injuries were. Usually they start from your head and they go all the way down to your toe. Starting from the top, can you describe what injuries you sustained because of the accident? Let's go to your neck.
Sure.
Describe your neck pain. How often would you say you experienced neck pain? They may ask, did you have any headaches? Did you hit anything in the vehicle? Did your airbags deploy? Did your knees hit the dash? What type of neck pain did you have? What would you rate your neck pain from on a scale of 1 to 10? How often do you feel neck pain? Is it every day? Is it weekly? What type of pain is it? Is it sharp? Is it dull? How often throughout the day do you experience pain? Is it 30 minutes at a time? Is it all day? The next section that the defense attorney is going to address is what type of treatment did you receive to help your injuries? Did you go to a chiropractor? Did you go to your family physician? Let's talk about your treatment. Did you go to the doctor?
I went to the doctor 3 days after the accident.
Did you get any treatment for your neck or your back?
My doctor recommended that I see a chiropractor.
Did you go to some specialist? What type of treatment did you get? Did you get adjustments? If so, in what areas? Did they give you hot and cold packs? Did you get traction? Did you do any home exercising or stretching? How long was your treatment? Was it helpful for you? Are you still getting treated today? They may also ask about prior injuries or claims. Have you ever had any injuries to your neck or back prior to this accident?
I was in one accident about a year ago where I collided with a pedestrian.
Have you ever been in another car accident before? How long ago? Did you treat with a chiropractor or a doctor then? Which doctor was it? Where's that doctor located? Because they're going to want to get medical records from there to see if there's any pre-existing injury. Have you ever made any claims?
Yes.
Have you ever made a labor and industry claim?
No.
Have you ever made a claim for money from a car accident?
No.
Do you have a criminal history?
No.
The next section that the defense attorney will address is loss of enjoyment of life. What are the activities that you could do prior to the accident that you can't do now because of your injuries? We've heard a lot of people say things like soccer and bowling, activities with your kids. What are some of the things that you could do prior to the accident that you can't do now because of the injuries from the accident?
I like to run a lot, and it's a lot harder to run. I used to be able to run about 5 miles every day, and now, depending on the time of day and depending on the day, the pain after, 20, 30 minutes just gets to be a little too much.
The defense attorney may ask specifically, okay, if it was soccer that you can no longer do, who did you play soccer with prior to the accident? What team were you on? What are some of the names of the people that you played with? How often did you play? What are the phone numbers of the people that you played with? So are you saying you would run 5 miles a day prior to the accident?
Yes.
Who would you run with?
Normally by myself.
The next section that the defense attorney is going to ask about is wage loss. Did you lose any wages because of the accident? If so, how much money do you make? What days did you miss? How many days did you miss? Did you get a doctor's note to miss those days? The last section that the defense attorney usually talks about is what your current condition is today. Do you still feel pain from the accident? And if so, in what areas? And how often do you feel this pain? And are you doing anything to treat this pain? And why aren't you going to see a doctor if you're not seeing a doctor? I hope you've learned a little bit about what to expect in a deposition. Thank you.